47 commercial airline pilots have collapsed mid-flight since January. 47 emergencies, 10 months, 0 investigations. The numbers tell a story they desperately want buried. In 2021, pilot medical emergencies averaged 3 per year. This year alone represents a 400% increase. The incidents span every major airline: American, Delta, United, Southwest. From coast to coast, the pattern emerges with surgical precision. 12 incidents in January, 8 in February. The timeline is unmistakable. Each spike corresponds directly to airline medical mandate rollout dates. The correlation isn't coincidence, it's cause and effect. Yet aviation authorities maintain complete radio silence. The silence speaks volumes about what they're desperately hiding. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. October 15, 2023. United Flight 447, Denver to Chicago. 183 passengers aboard. 37 minutes into the flight, Captain Michael Torres suddenly collapsed in the cockpit. No warning, no medical history. Passenger Sarah Chen was returning from the lavatory when she heard the commotion from the cockpit. Quote, "The flight attendants were panicking. I heard someone say the pilot just dropped. Just dropped." The co-pilot immediately declared a medical emergency. Flight 447 diverted to Kansas City. Passenger video leaked on social media showed paramedics rushing aboard. Captain Torres was unconscious for 12 minutes. Within 6 hours, that video disappeared. The passenger's account was suspended. The story vanished from news feeds. United's PR department worked overtime. By morning, the official story was simple. Minor medical incident. Routine precautionary landing. But passenger testimonies painted a different picture. Multiple witnesses described Torres convulsing before losing consciousness. Flight attendant Maria Rodriguez, who requested anonymity, said she'd never seen anything like it in 15 years of flying. Quote, "His eyes rolled back. He was shaking violently. Then nothing. Complete collapse. It was terrifying." Captain Torres returned to duty 3 weeks later. United refused all interview requests. Medical records remain sealed. The passengers, while pilots are collapsing at alarming rates, the FAA has built an impenetrable wall of silence. An internal memo obtained through leaked sources reveals their deliberate strategy to downplay the crisis. The directive is crystal clear. Classify all pilot medical incidents as, quote, routine medical events, unquote. Not medical emergencies, not safety concerns, routine events. But here's where their hypocrisy becomes undeniable. When a single bird strike occurs, the FAA launches comprehensive investigations lasting months. Engine malfunction? Full forensic analysis. Weather-related incident? Teams of specialists deployed. But 47 pilots collapsing? Radio silence. We filed Freedom of Information Act requests to uncover the truth about these incidents. The FAA's response? Complete refusal to release any documentation. They claim ongoing investigation prevents disclosure. But what investigation? The same agency that investigates every mechanical failure refuses to examine a pattern of human ones. Their wall of silence isn't protecting passengers. It's protecting someone else entirely. But the truth has a way of surfacing, even when institutions build walls of silence. What we're about to share comes from people who risk everything to speak out. Air traffic controllers across the country are reporting the same disturbing pattern. Emergency calls that weren't supposed to be this frequent, this urgent. One controller from Denver International tells us he's handled more pilot medical emergencies in 10 months than in his previous 15 years combined. His supervisor told him to log them as routine diversions, nothing more. But it gets worse, much worse. An anonymous FAA employee leaked internal communications that will shock you. A directive from headquarters explicitly instructing regional offices to avoid correlation analysis on pilot medical incidents. They were told to treat each case as isolated, unrelated. When someone tried to compile the data anyway, their access was revoked within hours. Airline medical staff are speaking up too, despite the risk to their careers. They describe unprecedented pressure from management to stay quiet about patterns they're seeing. One flight surgeon was reassigned after raising concerns about the spike in cardiovascular events among pilots. These whistleblowers are painting a picture of systematic suppression. But who's pulling the strings? While pilots collapse mid-flight, someone is making money. Big money. The pharmaceutical lobby spent $128 million targeting aviation regulators last year alone. They're not lobbying for safety. They're lobbying for silence. Follow the board members. The same executives sitting on airline boards also control pharmaceutical companies. Margaret Chen, board member at Delta Airlines, also sits on the executive committee of Meridian Pharmaceuticals. David Rodriguez, American Airlines board. Previously vice president at Consolidated Biomedical for 8 years. The pattern repeats across every major airline, every major pharmaceutical company. They profit from the current medical certification system. Pilots get certified. Airlines get liability protection. But what happens when the certification process itself is compromised? Airlines pay pharmaceutical companies $57 million annually for medical assessment protocols. The same companies manufacturing the products causing pilot collapses are designing the tests to detect them. It's the perfect system. They create the problem. They control the solution. As we discovered with those whistleblower testimonies, doctors are incentivized to ignore symptoms. Every cleared pilot means more money. Every grounded pilot means lost revenue. Now you understand why the FAA won't investigate. The money trail leads straight back to them. So what does this mean for you the next time you board a commercial flight? The statistical reality is chilling. With 47 documented cases in 10 months, your odds of flying with an incapacitated pilot have increased dramatically. Industry experts estimate 1 in every 12,000 flights now carries this hidden risk. That means on any given day, dozens of flights worldwide are operating with pilots experiencing undisclosed medical episodes. While the FAA maintains its wall of silence, international aviation authorities are starting to take notice. The European Aviation Safety Agency quietly launched its own investigation last month. Transport Canada has requested internal pilot medical data spanning the past year. Even Australia's Civil Aviation Safety Authority is conducting what they call a routine review of pilot fitness protocols. But here's the crucial point. Change only happens when public pressure becomes impossible to ignore. Every person who shares this information breaks through the carefully constructed silence surrounding these incidents. When passengers start asking airlines direct questions about pilot medical protocols, the industry can no longer pretend everything is normal. The families of the 47 pilots who collapsed deserve answers, but more importantly, you deserve transparency. Because the next time you're 35,000 feet in the air, you should know your pilot hasn't been silenced by a system prioritizing profits over safety. The truth is out there. The question is whether we'll demand it before it's too late. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.